Hello, everybody. Of course, I'm here. I am Doc G. I am here with the fabulous Ann Ziegenhorn, stem cell activation specialist. This show is called Discussing the Patches, and we are going to be bringing you the information about these patches in a little bit. So I have Ann Ziegenhorn on here. Ann, if you want to take over and start talking, this is for information purposes only, and I'll send you the link. So you're on, Ann. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, and you're on.
Because I'm at a party and my phone's apparently not going any louder than what I have it.
Oh,
so, okay. Hi, everybody. So Amy's going to handle getting the links, and then she will post and tag me and Lillian, please, and that way it hits both of our walls. And then we are at a patching party. Hey, Lillian.
Hello.
So we're at a patching party live at Amy's house.
Very excited about this today.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if it will go any kind of nowhere that way. So anyway, I'm having, I guess, difficulty with hearing. It's the loudest I can get my volume, but that's okay. That's not going as low as I want, but that's all right. If I can get that. Trying to get this tilt down. Maybe. Okay. So anyway, so we're live at a patching party. We have several people here. We've got some in the kitchen area eating, and then we have others here that are using the patches already, and we're also going to get them some water. But I'll have Lillian get started on, I guess, giving you like a little what's going on, and some of our people need to hear better. So I'm just going to move this closer. All right, Lillian.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Lillian.
Hello, Dr. G. We're so excited.
Oh, I bet you that's what's wrong.
And so why don't we start off? I think it's always a good place to start when we can share the disclaimer first, because that's very important. And then we can go into what the patches actually do for you. So first of all, the patches are not intended to treat, prevent, or cure any disease, because we do not heal, cure, treat, or diagnose, nor do we offer protocols, because, sidebar, in case you didn't know, the pharmaceutical industry owns those words. So those things can only be done with things that are by prescription or over the counter that are made by pharmaceutical companies. And these are a device. These are not medicine. So the suggestions do not replace the diagnosis and treatment by a qualified licensed healthcare professional. We strongly recommend you consult with your doctor concerning your specific health challenge and treatment needed. No medical claims are being made here. So let's talk about what our mother cell activation patch does. So the moment you apply this patch onto your skin, anywhere on the body, it's going to reset. It's going to turn back on 33% of your previously dormant stem cells. Because when you're born, you have 100% of your stem cells, your master smart cells. And by the time you're just 30 years of age, 50% turn off. And as you continue every decade of life that you continue to be alive, more and more stem cells turn off, so that by the time you're just 60, 90% of them turn off. And so with this device, because this is an FDA compliant class 1 medical device made in FDA registered facilities, and it's FDA cleared. So as you put the device on, that's never had this to turn on a third of your previously dormant master smart cells. This is going to regenerate cells. You might want to put the mute button and you might want to put the mute button, because it sounds like your background noise is kind of over me. Okay, looks like we got that squared away. Sorry about that, guys. So we're going to be regenerating cells. Any damaged cell is going to be replaced with brand new cells. This is going to restore your collagen, because it's activating that master blueprint. So your collagen is going to improve, and it's going to restore the levels of collagen, rebuild scar tissue. It'll replace scar tissue with new tissue, the original tissue. It's going to reduce your fine lines and wrinkles. It's going to increase your energy, Your sexual libido, yes, your sexual libido is going to go up because as your body rejuvenates and is regenerated, your body is going to reverse age. So you're going to have increased sexual libido, increased antioxidants, increased anti-aging, and increased anti-inflammatories in the body. And many people experience 50 to 100% pain relief within the first 3 to 4 minutes of having this patch applied. And then, of course, you also have 2 more things: improved hair growth and deeper, sounder sleep. So one of the things that is happening as we are putting on this medical device, which is the on switch to turn back on a third of those previously dormant master cells, is that that patch activates inside your body something called GHKCU. And that GHKCU, copper peptide, is what turns on a third of your previously dormant master cells. Now, the thing to note is that's already inside of you. All we're doing is turning back on your original levels so that you don't have such a low level. And that is the mechanism by which we can turn on a third of your previously dormant master cells. So the thing to know is that it's important. Let's say if you take nothing away from today's broadcast and the only thing you take action on is drinking 50% your weight in fluid ounces of water, that would be a massive win for you for the rest of your life if you continue to do that from this day forward. Doc G, and just wave to us when you're ready. Doc G, I just want to check in with you. And have you noticed a difference since you started increasing your water intake since starting on the patches?
Yeah, I saw a lot of differences as far as things that were controlling, I guess, in general, little things, maybe my eyesight, maybe better bowel habits,
Yeah.
and not really wanting to drink too much more, even though I was drinking a lot.
Yeah.
So I was satisfying my cells, is what I think.
Yeah. 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 And the thing to note, I love what you said. You started to notice a lot of little things, being regular, going to the bathroom every day where you're not just urination, but you're having at least 1 to 2 bowel movements a day is a big deal because it's tantamount to taking out the trash. Your body is your home and you're supposed to take the trash out every day because you're eating every day. What goes in must go out. Your body's digestive system will take what benefits it and it can use it as fuel. Literally, food, believe it or not, is a light barcode. So you're taking the food, you're eating it, and your body is turning it back into light, into energy, into electrolytes and electricity in the infrared and near infrared bands. Anything that it can't turn into that's either a toxin or something that is just fluff and waste, that's what comes out as feces. And the liquid part then it comes out through the urine. So it's important that you're clearing, you're filtering out all those things. If you're going 2, 3, 4 days without taking out that trash, those are toxins that are wreaking havoc because it's like something rotten that's just staying inside your body that's creating more inflammation, and it's going to create other problems like disease and infections and things like that. So that's a big deal. I love that Doc G already talked about how improved eyesight. I can't tell you the number of people that we've had that used to be on prescription glasses who are no longer on prescription glasses. People who used to have astigmatism, which has to do with the shape of your eyeball, they no longer have astigmatism. You would think that the shape of the eye can't be changed, but it can. When you're resetting your original blueprint to turn back on, there is an literal infinite amount of possibilities. So Doc G's seeing better. We're 3 out of 3 here because Anne has improved eyesight. I no longer use prescription glasses. I now just use readers. And Doc G also has improved eyesight. The other thing I want to mention is so many people complain of having dry mouth, having dry eyes. And guess what? As they increase their water intake, as they're detoxing, because the patches will help your body detox purge, take out whatever it is that doesn't serve it more efficiently. So guess what? Their dry mouth, as they're hydrating more properly, they have less dry eyes, they have less dry mouth, they have less dry nasal passages, and less dry skin. So these are all things to note. And how are we doing over there? Because we're live at your patching event.
We're doing great. We are having water right now. Everybody's getting 4 ounces in them.
Fantastic. Okay. This is very exciting. And Anne, you are in Florida. You are in the Fort Walton Beach, Destin area. So a shout out to anybody that's within an hour, I would say. Would you say within an hour, hour and a half?
Hour and a half, because people in Panama City, it's an easy drive, and especially because I work in Miramar Beach. So that I have bit feedback because I'm talking to you, but it has like a 3-second delay behind me.
Okay. So yeah, I just want to tell our viewers, Anne is in Fort Walton Beach and she works in Miramar. So if you want to host your own patching event where we can broadcast it live on a Thursday, just like this, but we can be at your location and we can do this exact same thing. And every person that comes to your event, whether it's at a home, an office, a church, community center, wherever you might have it, guess what? Every person's going to get patched just like the people here today.
Yes.
And Anne is also bringing the phototherapy water, which is like no one else in Fort Walton. She's the only one who has that machine right now because it's not available to the public.
That's right.
It's such a rare thing to have both. So I just want to let Doc G know. All you have to do is contact Doc G, let him know, hey, we want a patching event at our place. This is my name. This is my number. We want to get started on the patches. Anyone who gets started, obviously the host who will start on the patches, hopefully before then, you're going to receive a product introduction bonus. And there's some other commissions and so forth that we can talk about later. But okay, back to Anne.
Real quick, this is Amy, our host.
Hi.
She happens to be a friend of mine as well as my office manager. And she's been patching for how long now? Since
Middle of June.
Yeah, middle of June. And then she got to experience the water. And the same day she had a positive result with the water.
It's amazing.
That is amazing.
So, yeah. And then the patches, tell them about your
My energy
energy
testimony.
Yeah.
So I had to move my kids, both my kids, into apartments like within weeks of each other on the 3rd floor of apartments with no elevator. So very exhausted, had to go to work the next day, probably 4 hours of sleep. Anne walks in, says, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I'm tired." So she patched me with the energy patches. And within 20 minutes, no joke, I felt like a new person. And she was like, "You're just so lively, you know?" And it wasn't like an energy like people on diet pills or something like that. Like you feel like you're on speed or something. It was just a natural energy. And I just felt great all day.
Yeah, she went from like dragon when she came in to all of a sudden just her whole continent changed. Her just facial she was just very calm, pleasant, able to handle the phone calls, coming into the office and everything, and just wonderful.
So I absolutely love to hear that because I can't tell you the number of people. I know that Anne has also experienced the same thing with people as she's patched them all over, not just in Florida, because I know she's patched, her and I've been together in Mexico in Punta Mita. Didn't even know Punta Mita existed, let alone that it was in Mexico, but we went. And everywhere we go, we have the same results. No mammal. So that includes quadrupeds, your cats, your horses, your dogs, mammals, and humans. We all have master smart cells that at conception, they're called stem cells. And so the moment you activate those, you may not be aware of that those even exist. It doesn't matter. They're already working in you. We're just turning more of them on. No side effects. It's more of you. We're literally turning you on. More of you, more of the original you is on. So, Amy, I'm so excited that she had these results. And What else? I know that there's more.
Yes. So we have Barbara here. And as we know, for those who haven't heard Barbara's story on our show, Barbara is a friend of mine who started on the patches recently as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think in May. And then Lillian, if you can pull the photo up. Do you have the photo?
Yes, of
Okay, of her brain.
Barbara. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Let me see if
Okay,
I,
so that way the audience can see. So
I'm gonna pull.
Barbara ended up having well, I'll let her tell the story.
Okay, so was about 5 weeks ago on Sunday. I had gotten up and I was doing my morning, go to church online, and I was singing, and all of a sudden something weird happened to my voice. And I went to my husband and I said, "Do you have something different about my voice?" And he was like, "No." But I was a little fatigued, so I went ahead and called my friend and told her I wasn't going to come over that day. And she says, "What is wrong with your voice?" And I was like, I thought there was something wrong with my voice. So come to find out, on that Sunday, I had a stroke. And so when I went to the hospital, it took a little while for my mouth to droop. I had slurred vision, slurred speech. I said that last time too. And that's what occurred. I had a stroke, and a couple of days later, we all had gotten together, and I was with Anne, and she said, "Let me patch you." Well, I had all the patches at the house, and she had the ones that I didn't have, so she patched me along my jaw, and I went from slur speech to as clear as I am today. And I wanted everybody to know. So I didn't care if they were asleep, because it was about an hour and a half later and they had just dropped me off from eating. I went and I called everybody. And I'm like, "Do you hear my voice? Can you believe the difference? In just an hour and a half, my voice went from being slurred to as clear as it is today." So I'm very blessed to have gotten the patches.
And then what did the doctor and hospital say? Because they were surprised at your muscle strength and that you didn't have any other symptoms.
Yeah, they kept saying, "Do you feel this? Is it the same as this?" I'm like, "Yes, it's the same." And they were pushing and pulling and, bending this, bending that. And they said, "You're not weak anywhere." And I said, I didn't really even know what to say, because I wasn't weak. Normally you get weaker on one side or the other, depending what side your stroke is on. And they were very impressed.
And when you were at the hospital and we had patches on you prior to doing your face, when we just had them on you normally, did they care that you had them on? And they
No, they did all the testing with me wearing them, and I had brought the letter that you had suggested to bring, and I gave them that as soon as I got to the back.
So we have a doctor's letter that we pass out, and it explains what the patches are, how they work. And because the United States Olympic swim team started with them and had to get tested, and they were originally made for the Black Hawk Navy SEALs, as she said, but the U.S. swim team in particular, they all had to get their blood tested. In addition to that, they had a study done by UCLA, an independent study on behalf of the Olympics Committee. And it came back that these are non-transdermal patches. They do not interfere with any medicine, supplement, or anything else going on. Therefore, because they're reflecting your own light, their records stand. And that's why our U.S. swim team has done so well. And Lillian may have said this, but again, my mic wasn't working earlier. But now we have well over 61,000 Olympic athletes worldwide wearing the patches.
I do have a picture. I uploaded it to StreamYard. Doc G, maybe you can show the CAT scan of Barbara's. There you go. So on the right-hand side, you've got, you can see the white mass here. That is where she had her stroke. And so that's evidence of what had happened to her. So it's very exciting. I saw Barbara. We had the Emerald Coast Conference, Health conference that I went to help both Anne and her team.
Health Expo.
And it was, the Health Expo. And it was really extraordinary because 5 days after her stroke, Barbara was there at the Health Expo. And, she wasn't there the entire day, but she was there a good chunk of the afternoon. And then, of course, she got tired, so she went home. Well, I got to tell you, we went to dinner like the following night. And that's when this whole thing occurred, because we went to dinner. She was getting a little fatigued and tired. And her and Miguel then excused themselves. It was about 9 o'clock at night. And Anne's like, oh, let me patch you. You remember that, Barbara?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
It is so extraordinary and we were surprised that she was hanging. It was like 9 o'clock and she was still hanging out with us at this great Mexican restaurant. And then, of course, they excused themselves after, Anne did her magic patching on her. And then we eventually got to Becky's house where we were like continuing to celebrate. And I kid you not, at 10:30, we get this phone call. And then it's like, it's Barbara. And then put her on. I can't remember if she called Becky or if she called Anne, but she put her on the speakerphone. And then we're like, oh my gosh, her voice is so much clearer. She's awake and it's 10:30. And she was speaking like effortlessly, which was such a difference from an hour and a half before.
Yeah, big difference.
It was, and she felt, the thing is, she knew it. She's like, I got to tell the girls. We were the buzzing in that room was palpable. All of us had goosebumps. All of us were like, there are no words that I can describe to you. Probably the next closest thing would be for you to have a friend who has something major like this that could ruin the rest. Normally, for a lot of people, this ruins the rest of their lives, but not for Barbara. Completely different outcome. And we've had people turn it around even when they started the patches after they had their stroke, a few days later. So it's super, super exciting to see the type of results that she's experiencing.
Yeah, nobody can stop me from talking.
Yep, that's right. All right, so Lily, I'm going to let you finish up, and then that way we can get the party rocking and rolling, and I'll let you finish.
Okay, so I want to finish up by saying, well, I'm going to do another little tag to what we just talked about, because 12 days, 10 plus 2 is 12 days after her stroke, on a Friday night, Barbara hosted in her home a patching event. So she went ahead, she scheduled it, she booked it, and her husband, Miguel, hosted a patching event. She had 25 people that showed up to that event. People could not believe. I think part of it is that they wanted to see her with their own two eyes because they were hearing her on the phone. Some of them saw her in person prior to that. They couldn't believe that post-stroke that she's going to have this event at her house. The bottom line is that it was very well attended. There were quite a few people that got started on the patch that same day. And again, I cannot say enough about how incredible this technology is. So to wrap it up, in terms of, what the patch does. So most of the time people take things and you don't really know how they work. You take a Tylenol or you take an Advil or you take whatever. You don't really know how it works. You just know that it's a pill and you pop it in and you trust that it's going to work, that it's going to do what it says it's going to do, right? But interestingly enough, a lot of people are very curious. How does this technology work? It's kind of a unusual thing. It kind of looks like a Band-Aid or a sticker, but it's so much more. And that's a phenomenal question. So we all have mirrors, like you could see over here. There's a mirror right here, right? And if I were to hold a flashlight up to that mirror, the light's going to bounce off the mirror and it's going to reflect back to my eyes, right? So if you do that to a diamond is a crystal. You flash a light and then the light bounces off of that mirror crystal and it's going to reflect back to my eyes and I'm going to witness all the different pretty colors from the prism. Well, the same thing is true with the patches, because the little white circle that you see in each one of our patches, these little circles here, that's a crystal lattice. It's like a pattern of crystals that each are programmed with very specific frequencies. And now you have that sacred geometrical pattern along with the frequencies. The moment it touches your skin, it is able to signal what the mother cell activation patch does, as opposed to the daughter, as opposed to the suite of 11 patches that we have. And that's how we're able to signal the body. And we can also, we have one of our patches is called Ice Wave, and it ices out pain. It literally turns off your pain receptors through like a magnetic force. The frequency has a pull and a push energy through the body, which turns off your pain receptors. Doesn't fix anything. That one just turns off your pain receptors. So while the other patches are doing the heavy lifting, they're the construction workers that are going, oh, there's damage here. Oh, we need to remodel this over here. Oh, we need to clear out this pipe over here, etc. The rest of the patches are doing the work of regenerating, restoring, and repairing what needs to be rebalanced. Sometimes it's your hormones, sometimes it's other chemicals inside your body, natural chemicals inside your body, and maybe not so natural. Maybe it's pulling out toxins, germs, virus, bacteria, fungus, mold, you name it, metals, and so forth. So that's how that works. And all it takes is you're taking the patch, putting it on your body. We do patch placement with everybody that gets started. And you really need to drink the water. Okay? So important to drink the water because you got to keep hydrated so those proteins are opened up and they're working. Because when you're dehydrated at 2%, they fold. And that's the beginning of disease and dysregulation inside your body. All right, Anne, if you're ready, we can hand it back to you.
I think Ann left.
Oh, I think. Okay, so I thought, I think she may have left accidentally. I don't think she intended to leave.
Oh, no, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so I think maybe the connection or maybe somebody bumped something. Heaven knows that's happened to me at live events. We don't want it to happen, but hey.
Live. Everything live happens.
Yeah, when it's live, it's live. It's not edited. It's not perfect. So Doc G, I think you and I would agree, perfection's not required, right?
Never is. No, because life is not perfect.
Life is not perfect. You know, life isn't perfect, and yet I would say it's perfectly imperfect. It's exactly as it needs to be. If we all get tizzied up, you know, and all like anxious and frustrated and all like confused because we made a mistake, then, you know, that's telling me that I'm too much in my ego. And it's like, I got to let that go. Ultimately, nobody really cares, right? You know, so I need to get over myself and be here for you. And if I mispronounce a word, if I make some sort of whatever kind of mistake, it doesn't matter, technical mistake or any mistake in any way, shape, or form, to the degree that I can forgive myself of making mistakes will be the degree to which I'm able to also forgive you of your mistakes. I don't expect you to be perfect. So you should all take a deep breath and relax and go, thank God, someone that's not going to make me, you know, judge me because I'm not perfect. Because heck, I'm definitely not perfect. Doc G, do you have any questions or any comments? I know that we have Rolando Mendoza and a few others here. Any comments about what we've discussed so far?
No, but I do want to, a comment I can add to what you said earlier, and I was going to add, my kidney stones are working their way out a lot quicker as I wear the patches. That I know. Drinking the water helps, of course, you know, but they're starting to come out, and they've been in there for a while.
And
my urinary stream, yeah.
So that is fantastic news because we have a lot of reports of that as well. And anyone who's tried to pass kidney stones, it's excruciatingly painful. You don't wish that on your worst enemy. And the fact that you're able to detox it, because what happens is anything foreign in your body, anything that your body has accumulated, like kidney stones, like gallstones, and again, we're not making any medical claims, but anything that really shouldn't be there to help give you energy is something that doesn't belong in there. And in your body's case, it's accumulating matter in the form of kidney stones. And to pass those, it's kind of a nightmarish thing. And if you go to the doctor, they're going to want to probably do lithotripsy or something else to get it out. And that's not a pleasant situation either. This way, you're literally detoxing from that. So your body is breaking those kidney stones down. No different than any other mass that might be in your body. No different than anything else that might be in your body. It's not supposed to be in there. So your body's like, oh, okay. So now you have 33%. Think of the difference between having a 10-bedroom home, 10-room home, not 10 bedrooms, 10 rooms, including kitchen, bathroom, living room, closets. And out of those 10 rooms, if you only have one room with a light on, there's a little bit of that. The house is kind of dark when there's only 1 out of 10 rooms in your home with the lights on when it's nighttime, right? But if in addition to that one room, now I add 3 more rooms, 3 to 4 more rooms, now half the house is lit. Now basically the whole house is lit when you have 5 out of 10 rooms that are on. That's what's going on inside your body when we put these patches. So your body is going to be way more efficient at purging it, pulling out toxins, anything that doesn't serve it in any way, shape, or form, inside as well as outside of the body. And your job is to make sure you keep drinking 50% your weight in ounces of water. Don't flood it in the morning with 50% of your weight in ounces. If you're, let's say, 150 pounds, that's 2 liters of water. You don't want to drink 2 liters of water in the morning. No, you want to be watering it all day long. Keep the moisture level consistent from the time you get up until you go to bed. So that's like drinking 2 water bottles, 1 early morning, 1 late morning, and then 2 in the afternoon, 1 early afternoon, 1 late afternoon. And then in the evening, 1 early evening, 1 before you go to bed. Now you're keeping the moisture level and the hydration consistent, your waking hours, right? That's going to make you more regular in more ways than one. And now your body's going to be more efficient at detoxing you and purging out, taking what it needs and releasing what it doesn't. Does that make sense?
Does make a lot of sense, yes.
Yeah. So, and you're going to notice your skin. I just had this weekend, my daughter, we went to San Diego, and my daughter, she said something about something in her hand. And so I went to reach over for her hand and was giving her like a hand massage. And she goes, your hands are so soft. I'm like, my hands are so soft. She goes, yeah. And then she turned my hands and started feeling my hands. And then, my arms, she's like, yeah, your skin is so soft. So I don't notice it. I mean, I know that I don't have dry skin anymore, but she noticed just by my reaching over to give her like a little, hand massage. She's like, oh my gosh, your hands are so soft. She made my son. She goes, Kyle, touch mom's hands. Aren't they so soft? And I thought that was so amusing, and so those are some of the benefits that we get. Yeah, we have sap because the skin is being replaced much faster than if you weren't patching, and it's head to toe. Being replaced.
I never noticed that, but as a mechanic for 25 years, I had the roughest skin for a long time working on cars. And now, I've been off for a while, but my skin is very, very soft now. And I don't think it's ever been like that. So you're right, another benefit. I didn't know.
It's amazing the number of benefits. Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Hey, your eyebrows are darker, Doc G.
They're black. The hair's growing in a lot thicker, but I want to try to shape it a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, darker. So I don't know if Anne's going to come back on, but let's see if we can take questions from the audience. If anybody has any questions.
Anybody have any questions? We'd love to take some questions from you guys. We do have a couple sponsors I can talk about really quick. One is Bristol Riverside Theater. They're right around my area here in Hamilton and New Jersey. But they're in Bristol. They're in Bristol, PA. They are giving us free tickets for the show. Any show they're choosing coming this month. There's, I think it's Led Zeppelin and Queen. They're tribute bands. And it's free if they just mention this show. Mention discussing the patches to an email, and this email will work. If you're interested in the patches as well, I'll see what Lillian can do for you.
So so the Hamilton radio team, and I'm going to I'm going to make an executive decision because I know that Ann and I and Chance and Doc G we're like all one team. So we're all benefiting from the joy of this life-saving technology, not just personally, but also with you guys, because you bring us on your health and wellness and your life journey when you say yes to the patches. And then we get to be, we literally have each other's cell phones and we're able to follow up with you and receive your text messages, your calls, your praise reports, your before and after pictures and videos that bring us immense joy. If they bring you immense joy, you can only imagine how we feel so thrilled for you too. So I would like to say, because you have Riverside Theater now as a new sponsor and they're right there in your backyard and they're offering, I'm like, wow, they're offering free tickets to you guys. You have no idea how monumental that is. But I want to pair those free tickets with free patches.
Oh, wow.
So if our viewers are willing to show up 30 minutes early, we can go to that event and we can patch you in person. I will personally teach and train Doc G how to patch you. So when you show up to that theater, and if that theater is okay with us doing that, maybe letting just the Hamilton radio group maybe 30 minutes early, so that we can be in the lobby, because that's all we need, 30 minutes early in the lobby, depending on how many of you guys show up too. We might have to make it 45 minutes, but we'll see. But for the first one, let's just do 30 minutes before the event, and we'll be armed with the patches so that anybody who shows up to the event that wants to get patched, anybody who is in any level of pain, whether it's a headache or maybe from a fracture or a sprained ankle or from a recent surgery, it doesn't matter. Even if you're under the weather, you'll get out of being under the weather within hours. The quickest I've had is 2 hours and 17 minutes. They had zero, the KHOBID symptoms disappeared in 2 hours, 17 minutes after this guy could barely get out of bed.
Wow.
So I'm not saying for you to show up, and infect everybody, but what I'm saying is that whatever you're struggling with, we can help you significantly when you show up at that theater. Would you put the show sponsor again, the Riverside Theater, so that people see it again?
Sure.
And I when you guys email Chance, let's see, where do you want them to email? Because I think you want the
email me at gdpent1@yahoo.com for listeners out there. Two free tickets to the next event.
Free tickets. So bring a friend with you. And if you have a spouse or a partner, bring them along with you. Bring two. You're going to get patched. And when you send an email to Doc G, in the subject, put Doc G promo and then Riverside Theater. Doc G promo and Riverside Theater. Yep. Show Riverside Theater some love. And I would encourage you to bring 4 or 5 friends with you. You guys are going to get the benefit that you get free tickets, but guess what? Your friends, when they hear that tribute band playing, they're going to want to come too. So let be a blessing to Riverside Theater, and you two come, and the 3 other people that come with you, they're paid, and you're showing support for that Riverside Theater, because we want them to be around for a very long time. And we want to bring more traffic to Riverside Theater. And who knows what other kind of wonderful events we can have alongside with Riverside Theater as we grow. Because make no mistakes, this Hamilton radio show is exploding. It is the metrics. If you saw the metrics, it's not just here in the States either. Our metrics are international. So QQQ, amazing. Okay, great question, Miss Shirley.
Please read it for our listeners.
Yes. So Miss Shirley says, amazing. What patches did Barb use? Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you for asking that question. It's a great question. So Barbara used the Fantastic 5. So if you look here, we have 5 patches. We have the mother and the daughter, the 39, the 49, glutathione, carnosine, and eon. That's what Doc G, that's what I use. That's what Chance uses. And where you put them matters. Makes a big difference. So for Barb, we put them on her brainstem. Sometimes we might we have acupuncture points on your temples, in front of your ear, below the ear. Sometimes we'll do something called a crown of light. But those were the 5 patches that she wore. Change the location a little bit of where she was wearing them previous to that, and then the results speak for themselves. Thank you for that question. I feel like, Miss Shirley, if you were to send an email to Doc G, to gdpent1@yahoo.com, I'm going to send you 5 days of a surprise patch. I don't know if you're on the patches yet, but I'm going to send you a surprise patch. I'll send you 5 days. Just put in the subject, Doc G, surprise patch. And you're the only one who's going to get that. Anybody who asks a question here, we'll give them that special promo.
Okay.
Okay. And you're going to love, absolutely adore. And when you receive the patches, then you call me based on what you got going on. We'll put that patch in the appropriate place. Okay. And any other questions? Let's see. Does anybody else have a question? Rolando Mendoza, thank you. He's tuning in from Texas, from the great old country of Texas. We got a lot of people in Texas and Houston and Dallas and San Antonio and a few other places too. Caesar, oh my gosh, Caesar is another incredible story. Thank you, Miss Shirley. Caesar Diaz, okay, Cesar, I met him for the first time when I went to Florida, and I was there with Ann's team, and our team was incredible. And so there was a few of us that went to Cesar's home, and Cesar 3.5 years ago had a horrific car accident that he ended up being paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair and unable to really feel or move anything from the chest down, not even raise up his hands. He's paralyzed. And when I was there, he had been on the patches for 3.5 weeks. For any of you that are on Facebook that follow Doc G, Chance, Ann, or myself, you may have seen Cesar's video, because we videotaped him and we showed how Cesar was, I was so excited because he was showing off how now he could raise his hands above his head. And that's not all. He could also use his hands. He still doesn't have the fine motor skills yet, but it's only been 3.5 weeks. He was able to use the strength of his hands, and believe it or not, he was able to stand up from his wheelchair. You could see it with your own 2 eyes. I could not. I was like, we were all like sitting there going, oh my gosh, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? He's like, I think I can do this. I think I can do this. And he did it. So he stood up and then he sat back down in his chair. Again, people, I can't even begin to tell you, when you can affect this positive change in another human being's life, isn't it worth it for you to share this life-saving technology? He would otherwise be confined to that wheelchair for the rest of his life, and things would get infinitely worse. And because of Ann's grace, she was willing to share this life-saving technology with him. He is now standing up from his wheelchair for the first time in 3.5 years. I just realized it was a coincidence. 3.5 years and 3.5 weeks. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I didn't notice that before. Anyhow. And the other thing he told us was that now he had bowel movement, not bowel movement. He could control his urine, because he couldn't feel before, he couldn't prior. And it tells me 2 things. Not only that he can feel down there, but also that he's had enough nerve growth to control urination. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. So that means that things are being repaired, going all the way down to his toes. So now, as he's faithful, just as we are faithfully brushing our teeth every day. Why? Because we don't want cavities, right? So for the rest of our lives, we're going to be brushing our teeth. And so he's faithfully applying those patches, drinking his water, and having extraordinary results. Anybody else here have any other questions? We've got a little bit of time left here on the watch. I want to make sure that if anybody has a question that we can answer it. Too, if you have anything that, maybe something's come up this week or even come up today that you have a question about, ask away or comment.
I'm checking the emails to see if anybody sent us an email. So
Okay. Yeah, I can't emphasize enough. So I'm very excited to be have Riverside Theater come on board as a sponsor. And again, those of you who would like to do a patching event at your home or at your place of work, or I've had people have, like right after a prayer meeting or a Bible study meeting, I've come in and I've been able to do, we patched everybody that was in attendance. That goes over really, really well. You pick the place. Public restaurants don't work so well because it's too loud, but you want something more like one of those venues that I've mentioned. And then Anne, as long as it's within about an hour, no more than an hour and a half from where Fort Walton Beach, Destin, Florida is, or Miramar, then we'll be more than happy to come out and do a patching event. And we'll be doing a patching event. I think we should pick a date. So maybe Gino, Doc G, maybe you can talk to Riverside Theater and maybe find out, maybe a Friday night or a Saturday night is a good night to have everyone collectively show up on a specific date. Maybe once or twice a month, we can have this show go to Riverside Theater and enjoy a great evening for 2 people, plus their 3 guests. And they can do more than 3 guests, but 5 people fit in a car comfortably. So that's why I'm thinking 5. And showing up 30 minutes early will get you patched. And it'll be a very exciting evening. Plus, you're not going to wear out. You're not going to go low on energy because since we're patching you, you're going to have plenty of energy until however late that concert goes at Riverside Theater. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I will reach out to them and see what they say. Sure. But the thing is, if I'm not here to do the show, the engineer, then I can't do the show.
Oh, I know. So that's the thing. It won't be able to be a Thursday night. It would have to be like a Friday night or a Saturday night.
No. You don't understand. Engineering wise, I have to use it. I have to use it on the computer, and I have to be by the radio station to put it out there. So if I'm not here, it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay.
I need people out there to do it for me.
Yeah, so we're going to have to. So you know what? We'll have to see who on your team is already that lives in that New Jersey area that's local, and we could always train one of them to do it. And if somebody just wants to
bring them on the team, there's lots of room for everybody to join it.
Yeah, so whoever or someone who wants to step up to the plate and say, you know what, this is fascinating to me. Not only do I want to use it myself, but I want to be a brand partner. And I want to do this as a business. I want to develop this as an income. And, you can learn and earn at the same time. No question about it. You can learn and earn at the same time. So if there's somebody out there that says, yeah, you know what, I'm in that New Jersey area. I'm not far from the location of where Doc G is and where the theater is. Step up to the plate, raise your hand, and we will teach and train you. You'll learn as you earn. You'll get started on the patches, and you'll never look back. And Riverside Theater, like I said, is a generous show sponsor. So we want to support them, and we want to, have as many people show up to Riverside Theater and enjoy those incredible shows. I don't know about you guys, but I love tribute bands. Some of them are so fantastic. They sound so similar, if not the same, as the original band that it just is. It's a really a wonderful thing. So let's think about that. And if maybe you think, well, maybe not myself, or maybe you just want to use it for personal use, but maybe you know of someone that's looking for a second income, or someone who's looking to transition out of what they're doing to something different, or someone who's just very, very industrious. And they're like, you know what? I want another tool in my arsenal. I want, this is like something right up their alley because they're already into things that are organic and holistic. Maybe somebody who has a strong marketing background. They already know how to reach large numbers of people. Maybe they're an influencer, maybe not. Anybody that's fitting any of those parameters, those guidelines, you might put them in connection with Doc G, and we can have them be the lead person. Some people love to get in front of a group of people and to speak and to do all these kind of things. If that's the case, then this is a perfect fit. And think about all the lives that you single-handedly will be responsible for, because you opened your mouth and you said, hey, you know what? I'm getting started on these patches, or I just got started on these patches, but I'll put you in connection with the specialist because they're looking for somebody like you that can spearhead that New Jersey area. And they already have a theater that is a sponsor to the show. And that person would also be able to be on here with Doc G and with myself and with Ann. So we really can help save a lot of lives doing that. So keep that in the back of your mind. How exciting. Just play, pretend, make believe that you're the person who referred. In an ideal world, I would have 4 of you refer people, all of whom say yes, or maybe all 4 of you say, yes, I want to do this, because we can really make some big strides. Our number one thing is getting the word out. Even though this is a technology that is used in major medical centers, in ICUs and ERs and ambulance companies, still the majority of the medical profession is not aware of this. So we need mouthpieces, people who are willing to share and to talk and aren't afraid to say, hey, have you heard about the latest in stem cell activation? And so we need brand partners to come alongside, and you don't have to wait to learn to then earn. No, you can do both and. Okay. Anything else, Doc G, that you want to share with our audience members and our viewers here?
We continue to grow. We have we're working with the local, I would say, shelter for dogs. This one is in Trenton. We're going to be doing it more on Chance's show, but we're going to be highlighting some of the dogs that are scheduled to die. And there's about 10 of them. And we ask people, if you either live in the area or around the area of Trenton, or please check out the Trenton shelter for these animals. That's the most important thing. Again, your business can get highlighted this way, and also you've been doing a great thing for humanity, for these dogs.
That's incredible. So I would, so maybe once we're off of this, and when you get onto Facebook, if you would tag me on the Facebook page for Trenton, New Jersey, the dog shelter, I would like that, so that we can help, share that as well. And I think that's such a worthy cause. I just got today from someone who is a viewer on your show, and also in the Chance Chat show as well. Her name is Eva, and her dog Wee Wee was dying of this large tumor that was right on her stomach. And she just sent me some images today, but oh my gosh, it's almost completely disappeared. It's so extraordinary.
Wow.
The before and after pictures. And this dog, let me see here. Oh my gosh. So wait till you see these pictures. So when she first started, it's larger than an egg. It was probably about this big. She's a little dog. Oh, good. She has pictures where she's showing. So you can see how large that tumor is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's huge.
And she actually has a ruler up to it. So you see how big it is. And now watch it shrink. Look at, it's not higher than her hand anymore. It's shrinking, shrinking, shrinking. It's barely detectable now. Shrinking. She has to point it out what's left. And that's her dog, Wee Wee. And Wee Wee, when we started patching her, Wee Wee was barely eating, barely moving. She didn't want to walk anymore. She had no energy. She had no appetite. She's on her way out. And Eva was very upset because it's her dog of 10 years. And she, she loves and adores her dog. And she's like, do you think this will help? And I said, yeah, she's going to detox from that. It's going to dissolve it, and it's going to be purged out of her body through urination and defecation. So it just is going to take time, but it'll work. You just need to make sure that she is patched every day, and that she, you have fresh water for her, all day long, because dogs will not dehydrate. They If they can't find good water, they'll go to your toilet and take that water. There's stagnant water at the bottom of a pot for a flower or any kind of plant. They'll take that water because they're not try microwaving water. They will not drink microwaved water. They know it's dead water and it's bad for them. So you give them microwaved water, they literally do this and go away. Animals won't touch microwaved water because they know how harmful it is for them. Long story short, started patching her, and I just went to dinner with her last Friday, and Wee is like running all over the place now like a puppy. Her energy is up. She's eating 3 times a day now. I'm like, 3 times a day? She goes, she's a little dog. She's only supposed to eat like, the beginning of the day, at the end of the day. She's like, yeah, but she asks me for food 3 times a day. So I'm like, well, yeah, but her body's repairing a lot of stuff. Now that she has plenty of energy, she has no problem walking. My gosh. And she's an incredible, I call her a lead magnet for Eva because she just walks her dog and people see the patches on her and they're like, what's that? And people end up getting started. So she's one of your she's about to promote to director because she's got a pretty good number of people that have gotten interested and have gotten started on the patches. So that's another phenomenal story, but now it's featuring a dog, a quadruped, as opposed to a human that we had earlier. So, all right. So we're almost at the top of the hour. Closing remarks.
Anybody else want to ask any questions, or I think we're good?
I think, yeah. Miss Shirley says yes. She got her answer. All righty. Well,
Miss Lillian, we'll see you and Ann hopefully on Chance's Chat in about a half an hour. When the show is on, and then he brings you on later. But the 2 videos are ready to go. I can't wait to see them on the thing. I want to hear the testimonies. I just played a little bit of it because I like to be surprised.
Me too.
I don't want to watch it and then go, wow, and then wow again. I want to be the first, like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. You're definitely going to go wow because there's more than what meets the eye when one of them starts. So I can't wait for you to watch them live with everybody. So it's very exciting.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Celine, anything you want to say at the end, and we're getting ready to leave. So
just a reminder to email docg at gdpent1@yahoo.com. In the subject, you're going to put Doc G Riverside Theater promo, because you definitely want to make sure you take advantage of that for those of you who are wanting to get started. Because even if you get started today, you'll still get, patched for free, and you'll still get the Riverside Theater tickets, which is part of the sponsorship for Riverside Theater. So I want to say a big shout out to Riverside Theater. Thank you very much for your generosity. It's because of people like you with families like yours that make these programs available and possible. We really look forward to working closely with you and to share this incredible service, because the service that you're providing is joy. We all need more joy. When we go to listen to music, that's what radio is about music and about hearing good news, right? And so they are stewards of joy. They're handing out joy. And so I want to thank you for that, because you're lifting the vibrational frequency of the entire planet. As you're doing that for your community, that spreads to the other cities and towns and the country. It affects the entire globe. So thank you for that. And I hope to someday soon come to New Jersey and shake your hand and say hi and hello and thank you for all you do. And I know Doc G will be there. I'll give both him and his beautiful bride a big hug as well.
Thank you so much, Lillian. Everybody, thank you for being here. We'll see you on the other side of the next show next week, and then we'll see you at Chance's Chat at 8:30. Have a good night. Bye, everybody.